You got the theme song somewhere?
Okay.
This is not the usual WLA group of mutts I'm always seeing on Zoom. Who are these people?
New blood.
You like this group better?
So far, it's way better looking. I'll say that.
We haven't started talking yet, though. All right.
All right, I'm gonna hit the live on Facebook and then we should be good to go. All right, so hello everyone and welcome to our Catch Up with the Coaches Facebook Live event presented by Johnston Meier Insurance Group. I'm Mackie Jenner, one of this year's WLA social media coordinators, and I'm so excited to help host this event and give you guys a little sneak peek into our 2022 season. It's been 2 years since we've stepped on the floor, so I'm sure our fans are just as excited as we are to get started. We have coaches, assistant coaches, and GMs here to give you all the scoop on this season. I'd like to introduce tonight's host, Jake Elliott. He's a well-known voice of the WLA and a former player as well. So Jake, thank you for being here, and I'll let you take it from here.
Excellent job, Mackie. Thank you very much, and welcome everybody to WLA Lacrosse here in 2022. I know how fired up I am to be back around the WLA, and I'm sure all you gentlemen are as well. Let's just introduce everybody quickly here, who we have on the call today. I'm just going to go through my screens the way they're showing on my screen here. So I got Roddy Jensen up on my top right. He is the head coach of the Langley Thunder. I got Rory Mcdave in the middle row to my left. He is the head coach of the New Westminster Sandbellies. I have Tawani Joseph. Tawani, refresh my memory because it's been a couple of years. You're new to the Nanaimo Timbermen. Please lay out your roles for me.
Yeah, well, first of all, say hi to everybody. It's good to see everybody's faces. Some I haven't seen in some time, but with the Nanaimo Timbermen as head coach and VP of player operations, but also it's been great to actually reconnect back to the game again after 2 years of COVID. I think this medicine, we all need it. That's for sure. That's what I've seen out there. So thanks for having me.
No doubt about it. I've been used to seeing you in a team-end jersey, though. It's Tawani. I gotta say, it's gonna take a little getting used to there. As is you for Travis Gillespie, assistant coach with the Burnaby Lakers. Rob Williams, head coach of the Maple Ridge Burrards. We have Patrick Coyle, who is the head coach of the Coquitlam Senior Adnax, and got a pretty big other game coming up this weekend as well. So we'll try not to keep Pat too long. I know he's got a lot going on. And the GM of the Victoria Shamrocks and Chris Welsh. Welcome, everybody. I think the first thing I want to do, it's been a couple of years away from the WLA, obviously. So, Roddy, let's just go back in order here. Tell me how long you've been with the Thunder, who's going to be flanking you on the bench this season, and take it a step further. If you know your captains or alternate captains, you can let us know who those are too. Absolutely.
Yeah, really excited to be back. It's good to get the West going again here. So it's going to be exciting. So I've been with the Thunder since 2011, and after the Midland Cup in Coquitlam, and then I had 1 year in Australia. I had a hiatus, and I've been there ever since. The ownership, the Buchan family have been tremendous supporters, and just in general support for all the players and team. And so it's been a fantastic experience. We got a great relationship, and I haven't been fired yet, so that's a positive. Coaches, I'm really excited. I a while back when I was coaching NL, I coached with Dave Pym. He's head coach at Calgary, and I worked the defense, and he's a great guy to work with, a mastermind on video and whatnot. So he's going to be running the offense this year. He's got a great group, obviously, that he can work with. And unfortunately, my good friend and longtime coach, Freddie Klopp, is going to take a year off. He's got some minor health concerns, but nothing too bad, but he needs to spend some time taking care of himself. And so we're in the middle of looking for some more support on defense. But yeah, great to be back, and looking forward to the season.
Okay, Rory Mcdave, you've been with the Bellies a few years now. I know you got one of my old teammates running the back gate for you, I believe, in Randy Jones. Tell me about the Bellies, and if you've been your captain for alternates yet as well.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you there, Jake. Give me that
Yeah,
again.
if you're not speaking here, guys, maybe just throw your mic on mute. That would be helpful. Coaching with you, Rory, Randy Jones this season. I think it's just the two of you on the bench, and not sure if you've named captains or your alternates yet.
Yeah, we've had Randy ready to go for a couple of years now, right? We're just kind of waiting to get going, and then finally this season starting up. So looking forward to what he can bring to the table defensively, but just overall, right? Like he's a good overall mind that I'm running the offense up there that I can bounce stuff off him, and he's very intelligent with lacrosse in general, right? So captains, we haven't named captains yet, but we obviously got to get on that. We're starting this Friday, so we'll be on that right away.
Okay. Fun fact, I believe Randy Jones, the last player to lead the WLA in scoring using a wooden stick. You can fact check me if you want. Tawani, your first year in the WLA, obviously here as a head coach with Nanaimo, and I'm assuming you've assembled a staff as well. What can we look forward to with the team?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing I did actually was I went and approached the Snuneymuxw First Nation. My wife is actually Snuneymuxw. So I had a chance to talk to Chief Mike Wise there, and also council members, and also some of the folks in the surrounding community. And one of the things I've noticed in the last few weeks is actually how supportive the Nanaimo community and the Snuneymuxw First Nation, Nanuus, and other nations are about what's going to be happening this year. So I think we have Brian Nicola, who, for us played with the Bellies, actually played with Brian Baker, who I grew up with, and his family, the Baker family as well. So, and also interesting about Brian, actually his last year that he played in senior area lacrosse was with the Six Nation Chiefs, actually with Pete Sky, when it was his first year after the 93 or 92 season. So have him, there's a lot of these connections that I'm finding, and also have John Nicholson as well, through the lacrosse academy that's happened over in Nanaimo. Actually, they inspired us to start a lacrosse academy in North Vancouver. So I found the more that I had conversations with John and with Brian, their voices, their experience are so important what we're doing, but also at the same time, the connection to the community has been the best part about it, and getting to see the players. We haven't named our captains yet. That's something we'll do this week. But what I've found really is that there's some talented young athletes out there that I can't wait for them in the world to see them here on the island, but also on the mainland as well. So I can't wait for the season to get started next week.
There you go. Brian Nicola, also fun fact, I believe played a couple of years with you, Robert Williams, in Burnaby back in the day. And also, for people that might not know, once traded for John Tavares way back in like 92 or something like that. Let's stick with you, Sato. A new looking team there in Maple Ridge. We'll get to that here momentarily, but you got yourself a couple of new coaches as well, Blair Bradley and Tyler Richards joining your bench this year.
Yes, so Blair Bradley.
Blair Bradley, excuse me.
Yeah,
There's so many Bradleys.
We all know the brothers though, so that's fair. It's a fair mistake. Yeah. Blair, guy we grew up with and played with through minor, and coached against them in the ALL this past winter, and he was working with Russ Hurd and Andy Ogilvy, and I thought he did a fantastic job with that group, and kind of came around to asking him if he wanted to come join us in Maple Ridge, and he was happy to do that. And we'll do some learning from him. He can do some learning from me, and we'll come to hopefully some success there. Tyler Richards, I was around him in Calgary for a couple of years as our backup goalie. He continued on this year as a goalie coach, and also helped with video and some defensive stuff. Great lacrosse mind. Really high IQ. Helped me out a lot. It'll be Zach Porter's first year on the bench also. I know you've worked with Zach before, super high lacrosse IQ, did a lot of correcting me when I was coaching. So, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? This is how it works. And then over the years, I was like, yeah, he's right. I was wrong. He's a smart guy. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to have a young coaching staff with this young group because we're going to be really young, coming out the gates flying. But we have some learning to do, and it's going to be fun coaching and teaching again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And never mind you starting to feel old when you see guys that you played with now coaching, but now seeing guys that you coached coaching makes you feel even a little bit more old. Pat, how are you? Congrats on the Western Conference Finals here. I know you got a big Game 3 coming up. Good luck in that. But bringing it a little closer back to home, taking a step up to the senior Adnex, a place where you won yourself a Man Cup way back in the early 2000s. You got to be excited about making the jump up to senior, and you're going to have a good young group there. And I would assume Bish off to your right or to your left. Anybody else can be on the bench with you?
We're still accepting applications, Jake. If you're interested, no, right now it's just Jason and I, but it would be nice to get a guy on the back end. It's just hard to find guys some of the times. It's such a commitment, and I don't know. It's just hard to find guys some of the times, but yeah, we're still looking.
I should get my agent involved here and get a little bidding work going. Maybe a couple of teams looking for.
We pay. The pay is not very good, Jake.
It probably wouldn't go too far. No. Chris, you're sitting in for your coaches. Where's Simmer? What's going on? What can fans expect to see with the Shamrocks? By the way, folks, if you haven't heard the big news yet, the WLA season opener, which happens to be the Victoria Shamrocks home opener against the New Westminster Sandbellies, will be broadcast live on television. Check TV. This is going to be exciting stuff, Chris, and we're all looking forward to the big home opener coming up. But who are we going to see on the bench?
Yeah, it's going to be great. Friday night, we're going to have hopefully a packed house here, and Check TV broadcasting live starting at 8 o'clock. And so what a way to get started after 2 years off the pressure of live television. But the Salmon Bellies are coming over, and it should be a great tilt. So we're excited for that. Simmer would be here, but he's leading the practice behind me right now. Mike Simpson, who for the last few years was our offensive coach during COVID, he stepped up and agreed to take over as head coach. We're only going to have 2 behind the bench this year. He's going to be running offense as well as doing head coach duties, and he'll be joined by the perennial Mr. Victoria Shamrock, Artie Webster, who will be our D coach once again. Seeing people we hadn't seen for 2 years, seeing Artie Webster, he looks exactly the same. He's the only one. Everybody else looks older and fatter or whatever, but not Arthur. He looks amazing. And I think the guy's tickled, to be honest. So anyhow, we'll have the eye in the sky. John Hamilton, who was with us back in 19 as well. John Hammy was a teammate on the 97 Man Cup team with Simmer there, and
don't remind me, Chris. I remember those years. Trust me.
Grant Hamilton, was John's brother. Anyway, so we're excited for our coaching staff. We think we've got some great former Shamrock players who can show these young guys the way, and Simmer's a great leader. He works as a deputy chief in the Saanich Fire Department, and he was a captain of the Shamrocks. As I said, he was a captain of the Esquimalt Legion, the team with the Gate brothers that won the Minto, and he's a leader everywhere he goes, and now he's our leader behind the bench, and he does a great job for us. And like some of the other fellows have said, we've got a younger team, not as young as maybe everybody, but a lot of really young guys, and so our coaches are excited to be doing some teaching too. And we think we're going to have a young, fast, and entertaining team to showcase this year. And we can't wait to get started on Friday.
Yeah, I think that is pretty much par for the course around the WLA. A lot of youth going to be injected into this league, a lot of draft picks as well. And I think it's going to make for some really exciting lacrosse. And you played a brand of that back in your day, Mr. Gillespie. Now, on the Lakers bench, I'm not sure where the big boss is, but let me know who you're working with in Burnaby, and have you guys named any captains yet?
Yeah, thanks for having me. No, I'm just a lowly assistant. Todd Stockdale, head coach, and Pete Sky, the offensive coach. And like most too, we're kind of behind the 8 ball. We haven't named any captains yet. We're we're still trying to sort out the whole roster. That'll be a game time decision, I'm sure, for our last few players, like everyone.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation kind of coming in under fire like that. And I'm not sure who just mentioned it, but the rule changes, I don't know where I kind of want to take this. Maybe I'll take it to you, Sato, because you got some NLL experience coaching along with Pap, but the rule changes that the WLA have adopted, getting closer and closer to a unified rule book. I think this is a huge step for not only the WLA, but our sport in general. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think we are, taking steps in the right direction for, all of us, like to talk about grow the game. And I think this is a massive step for growing the game. I think it's a massive step for, and do for the players to give them an advantage, or not an advantage, but get them up to par for going to camps, for NLL camps. It's going to speed the game up here and make things better for the fans. There's so many different reasons why we did it and why we should do it. It's just, it's great. It's fantastic.
Roddy, let's bounce over to you here for a second. And it's been a long time away. I was doing something for the Bellies the other day, and I think it's going to be over 1,000 days since they've played a WLA game at Queen's Park Arena, which is just mind-blowing to think about. But the team coming into Langley this season looks pretty good, but it's a lot of different guys that haven't really been together for a long time. What sort of things have you been doing leading up to the season to try and create a little chemistry and culture there in Thunder Country? Please take your microphone off and mute, Brian.
There you go.
There you go.
To be honest, it's been a bit of a struggle, obviously, because our entire offense plays in the NLL pretty well, except some of the young guys. So I've been doing the camp old school, where everyone runs up, everyone runs back, and everyone plays offense and everyone plays defense, which isn't a bad thing with this quick game now and OD systems. It shows that you need to get on and off the floor quickly. We're going to be, like I said, in the long run, obviously we're going to have a strong group and they'll come together, but there's some challenges, right? They come from different teams, different systems, and it's going to take a little bit of while to get them all on the same page. And we got a lot of young defenders. So it's going to be, we're going to have work cut out, but excited about it. And I think, like I said, it's a great mix of obviously talent, experience, and some youth. And obviously, so they can build together and hopefully put an awesome product on the floor.
Pat Coyle, it's going to be a bit of a different looking team in Coquitlam as well. I know you're not going to have your superstar stud Reed Bowering, who's off to the PLL. That's a little bit unfortunate, but a chance, like I said, for some young kids, your draft picks to kind of step in the lineup and make an impact and get some experience right away here. Can you spotlight 2, 3, 4 guys that you're kind of looking forward to seeing in an Adnac uniform and seeing what they can do in the WLA?
Well, Jalen Chaster, just playing it, in Colorado. I'm excited to watch him play in the WLA, and Eric Turner and Brett McIntyre are coming from the Mammoth too. So just having those 3 guys, just being familiar with them is going to be nice. But there's a, Dylan Watson is coming out, and I'm excited to watch him play. Like, he hasn't played senior before. So same with Levi Anderson. Seeing guys like that, I think it's going to be great. It's going to be nice to have, I think, a mix of some veteran guys and some young guys that are, I think what can happen with the senior team sometimes is it just, people sort of take it for granted and they don't maybe put in the time that the younger guys do. So it's going to be nice to have those younger guys that are only here to sort of play lacrosse. So they're going to want to practice more and be on the floor more. So looking forward to that.
And again, I think this is going to be a common theme throughout our league this year. It's going to be different like any other, where you're not going to see kind of the guys coming in for the 4 games and qualifying for playoffs. It's going to be guys that have been there since the start of training camp, earned their spot on the team and making their way. Chris, Victoria in particular, it always seems to be a team that likes to load up and make a run for it. I'm not sure if that's the case this season. You mentioned some younger faces in there. I know a bunch are coaching the junior rocks now, but who do you got coming in that you're really excited about? Maybe out of your draft picks, or even some guys that you've signed through free agency or transfers?
Well, there's a couple of guys. One is a second-year player for us. He played for us in 2019, but he was maybe a little bit under the radar, but since has taken a couple of steps forward, and he's coming here looking just awesome. And I think he's going to have a phenomenal year, and that's Larson Sundown. I would say the same about Marshall King. Marshall's fighting a lot of adversity, as people know, off the floor with some personal stuff in his life, but he's battling hard, and boy, his skill level just seems to have shot through the roof while we've been away. And it's exciting to see the progress those two young men continue to make in their journey. I'm really excited about Jake Foster, a guy that we gave an opportunity to out of Calgary. And Jake has worked his butt off to get here, and he played in the ALL this summer and led that league in scoring wire to wire pretty much, and got their Offensive Player of the Year award. And he's a guy who's taking on a different role to be here with us. He's always been the go-to guy on every offense he's ever played on, and on ours he's got to take on a different role. So he's doing that for this opportunity, and it's exciting to see him develop. So those are a few of the guys I can think of right off the top. But yeah, you're right, Jake. It's a little different this year with the transfers. The transfer market has changed a lot over the years I've been doing this job. I've been GM of the Shamrocks since 2008, and I've seen tremendous change in the way the migration of players from other provinces takes place. And we're doing things a little differently this year. I think on opening night, over 80% of our roster on opening night will be made up of guys who live on the South Island. So that's a big number for us, and one that I think a lot of Victoria fans are going to be excited about.
No, I was just going to say, I think that's exactly what the city's looking for, and a team that they can get behind when it's full of local homegrown talent. Rory, Tawania, I will get to you, I promise. But Travis, let's start with you. The big trade with Robert Church on draft night, obviously that Laker offense is going to look a little different. If I'm not mistaken, Eric Penny signing a senior B card this year, so maybe a little different looking goal. What can fans expect to see team-wise when they enter the swamp on a Friday night?
Yeah, lots of changes. GM Kevin Hill there has been pulling the trigger on a lot of deals, and I'm sure burning the phone with a lot of the GMs looking for things and looking to make a few changes. Like most teams, we're going to be really young. Really, really young. Our game the other night against Langley was a lot of young players, and they played fast and fearless. So from us this year, I think you're gonna expect kind of a scoring by committee and a young, annoying team to play against, because they just haven't been there. Not a lot of experience, not a lot of NLL guys this year. We'll be gritty. It'll be a big learning curve. But I think we're bringing in the right players that want that opportunity to learn and play, and maybe been overlooked a few times and out there with something to prove. So should be exciting, hopefully.
And that shouldn't really be underestimated. When a guy gets passed over a cut and comes back a little hungrier, that can take you a long way in our sport. Rory, your team kind of fell victim to the whole senior B thing as well, losing a few key players off of your roster and some guys to surgery as well, some key components, which is tough. But you're bringing in a guy like Zach Higgins, which is exciting to have a new goalie there. And again, a chance for some younger guys to step up and fill some roles. Who are you looking forward to?
Yeah, we got a great mix. You talk about Zach, he's a great person. He's coming off a really good year in the NLL. So, we expect big things from him here. And, really excited about Hayden Dixon. Seeing a couple times in practice already. And, it's just a big body, great hands, and, highly intelligent. You tell him something once, it's done.
Kind of like yourself back in your playing day there.
Oh, yeah. And then we got our veteran guys that are, we're hoping to lead the way with Mitch Jones, Ilya Gaich, And then we're still waiting for a few of our guys that are still playing right now in Drew Belgrave and Jordan Gillis. So, we're excited. We got a good mix, and we got a lot of hungry young guys that are going to be ready to go.
Well, I mean, last but not least, let's have a look at the Timbermen here. I know you've been hard at work kind of orchestrating and formulating your roster. And you're a bit of a unique team because you have a handful of mainline guys that spend the summer in Nanaimo, whether they're living over there or traveling back and forth. But are you kind of looking to build out a local team as well, like some of the others here?
Oh, absolutely. I think just in the time that I've been over there and spending time over there in the community, I think, what I've learned most of is that there's some exceptional young men who really want to showcase the best of who they are. And I think that's been exciting to see. I know that with the rule changes, certainly I wasn't used to a 30-second clock. We just used to play the game fast and just shoot. So I'm excited to see all the teams this year and how we play the game, because the fans have been waiting for such a long time now through COVID and through tough times that everybody needs to get out to a place. I mean, I went to an exhibition game last week out in Port Moody. It was great to see the kids on the floor, the people in the stands. There was an excitement going on. So that's really what I've been doing over in Nanaimo, is really just getting to know the players, personally on a personal level. And I've had a chance to work on, events, international events around the world. And anything I've ever worked on, when you have good people, you can set good goals, you can have a vision, and you can come together. So that's really what I've been doing the last few weeks.
Maybe just quick, do you guys remember when we used to have face-offs in our league when the ball went out of place? That wasn't all that long ago. I was actually just calling a junior game out in Ladner yesterday, and they called an 8-second call, and I thought, are they shorthanded? What's going on here? And then I thought to myself, this is happening. So I think there's going to be a bit of a learning curve for players, for teams, refs, even broadcasters, to get used to there being these new rule changes in summer. And once that happens and everybody gets on the same page, I think it's going to be fantastic. 20, I said you were last. I lied. Sato, it's actually you, because we haven't touched on the Berard's roster here. And a far cry from what we saw a couple of years ago when you guys were really loaded up and taking a run at the Man Cup. This is going to be a young blue-collar team that comes to work every night, and going to be a tough out. And I know that's kind of your character and what you're looking for when you comprise the roster.
Yeah. Well, so far we've been averaging probably up until the cuts and stuff, we were averaging up to 30 guys a night at practice. So that's fantastic. That's something, in the WLA that's not something that's everybody gets to see. So that's, the interest and the hunger that we talked about for some of the other guys talked about for these young guys. It's really exciting to be around. It's nice it's like I said, they're interested when you're teaching them and when you're coaching them. We got some guy like Denon Armstrong in the exhibition and spoke with him the other night. Looked really strong. I was really impressed. Fantastic attitude, out every night, working his ass off. I guess he's he's trying to prove some people wrong too, I imagine. Just draft selections and different camps that he's been released at. But I can see him going a long way. And then there's the guys, the Brandon Humphreys, that have been playing backup for me for 5 or 6 years that haven't got a chance to step up and play. And him and Nate Facine, who's looked really well, really good too, are kind of going to be a 1-1 punch, I think, rather than, the Frankie playing just about the majority of all the minutes. It's nice to reward guys like that too. The Mitch McDowell's, he's worked his ass off for me for 5 years. Never really got a real clean shot at it, and he gets one now, and he's making hay with it. He had a great ALL season. He's out banging around, being the same old guy, crashing, and the guys you need, the hungry guys that do all the dirty stuff for other guys and are still able to put 1 or 2 in the net for you. He's been really impressive for me. We do have a couple of veterans coming back in Kevin Reed and DJ Sari. DJ's a guy that is going to step up into a leadership role, and Kevin already is that kind of guy. So it'll be nice for those guys too to make that step to be that guy. There's all kinds of positives in what's going on, where I'm a glass half full guy. There's a lot of people that were upset that the PLL decided to do what they're doing. For me, I think that we possibly could have been missing out on some diamonds in the rough along the way, with guys holding on and getting paid for a long period of time to a late age, and guys not getting an opportunity or shot to kind of. We have late bloomers. We all know it. We all see it all the time in the NLL or You know, the guys that just didn't make it right out of junior, but all of a sudden they come in and you're like, holy man, where'd this guy come from? Well, now we get to see them a little bit earlier. And I think that's a positive. I mean, we have to kind of grow with the times. I don't think we're far off from the other league doing the same thing. I can't speak out of turn, but they're an investment to those guys. And we have to be prepared to move on it and do this the right way. And I think this is fantastic. And to touch on the community part of it, I think we can speak, Jake, you and I, from our junior days when it's a community team and everybody's aunts and uncles and cousins and girlfriends and friends and brothers and sisters are at the game. It's a way different feel. That arena's rocking and there's a lot of emotion and it's nice. It's fun. I think we could see that happen again very soon with the way things are going. So that's my glass half full kind of mentality on this situation.
You're preaching to the choir, my man. Pat, Roy, I know you guys got practice coming up, so you can just give me a thumbs up or I got to go or wave goodbye when you guys got to bail out here. But maybe I can get this in quickly to you, Pat, before you got to go. I know what kind of team you're going to coach and what kind of style you're going to play, but maybe for fans that have been longtime senior Adanac fans that might not have watched you play or watched you coach junior, what can Coquitlam fans expect? What kind of brand of lacrosse is Coquitlam going to play in 2022?
I don't know. I think some of the times the biggest mistake that I've made as a coach is that I think this is the way we're going to play. And then you get into your season and you realize your players aren't really built around that type of style. So, you know, what I can say is that I want us to be a real hardworking team. That I don't want us to get outworked any night and just be responsible with the ball, like make good decisions with the ball, value the ball, and we're going to build from our goalie out. We feel like we've got probably one of the best goalies in the league with Christian Del Bianco. And, you know, we want to play a fast style of game. And the rules, I think, sort of complement that. It's going to make the game a lot faster. So, yeah, that's sort of, but to me, it's going to be a work in progress. I really hope the team that we are in the first quarter of the season is really different from the team that we are at the last quarter.
You got like an original Bob Ross going on in behind you there. What is that?
Yeah, Bob Ross.
That's beauty. It's a beauty. Rory, how about you? A lot of pressure there in the Royal City on Thursday nights. You know that town is going to show up and show out for the Bellies, and you guys got to bring your A game to the table and put on a good show for them. You were a pretty hard-working guy during your playing career. I expect you kind of demand that out of your players when the whistle goes as well.
Yeah, I think it's it's going to be a process here, right? Like it's how we're going to evolve on offense and defense with all the new faces. You know, same with everybody else in here, and the new rules are going to dictate that fast pace. So that's something that everybody's going to have to be prepared for. But we expect our guys to be the hardest working guys on the floor every night. And, everybody else is going to repeat that same thing. But, whoever kind of gets that effort is going to be the guys that's leaving with the wins. So I'm trying to install that in everybody and just make sure we got our bunch of team guys ready to go.
How about you, Roddy? You like a pretty aggressive up-tempo style of play, but you mentioned you're making your guys play both ends of the floor here early on. I know that's probably not the long-term goal, but can we maybe see out of the Thunder some sort of a hybrid where guys are playing both ends of the floor? Because when I watch now at the highest levels, it almost seems like those guys that can do it anywhere on the floor are becoming the most coveted guys in our sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously we play the OD system and we got the best players playing at both ends of the floor, but yeah, having the versatility to have guys in both directions can really, really help. I had a really strong lineup in 2013 and, loaded offense, and Victoria just shut us down and their tranny guys burned us. And that cost us an opportunity to go to the Man Cup there. We got a very talented offensive group, but we're going to make sure that we can get the ball in both directions. Our exhibition game against Burnaby, man, it was just like a track meet. I couldn't believe it. We got to make sure like Pat says, we make good decisions coming out of our end. And at the end of the day, putting the ball in these offensive players' sticks is going to be a benefit for us. These guys are the group I got this year is probably the strongest group I've ever coached. Potentially in the NLL or in the WLA or junior. But at the same time, they all, we all got to fit into the system and bring out
Still
the
got to
best.
play the game, right? Still got to play the game.
And the other thing is, every single person on this has said teams are going to be young and hungry. It's been 2 years, right? So, I could see some of these young defenders wanting to check Connor Robinson and Dane Dobie and Curtis Dixon and Robert Church because they're trying to make that allow. So, like we can't take anything for granted. Excited about this year, but we got to match any energy, if not more, or we're going to be in trouble.
Tell me about this exhibition game, Travis. I didn't get a chance to see this, but it sounded like a pretty free-flowing contest. Is that what the Lakers are looking to do? Run and gun a little bit, use your youth, use your speed, and get up and down the floor.
Yeah. I think we might be one of those teams that has a few guys play offense and defense, transition that ball. A lot of young players want to play both ends of the floor and get a shot to score a few goals. So give them that opportunity, and then maybe trap a few old guys on the floor on the other side could be an advantage for us. Langley and us had a fun game to play, a fun game to coach. There wasn't much coaching. It was a lot of playing. It was fast, clean, hard game. A lot of players, competing for spots like we talked about with 2 years of draft picks. There's a lot of good players there that won't be making rosters. So everyone's hungry. All our veteran guys, they know it. Nothing's safe. There's no given jobs on our team or any team, I'm sure. So, I think you'll see a lot faster league this year. At 8 seconds, it didn't get called that often because people were pushing that ball, led to a few turnovers, led to opportunity, and it'll be really good to see this summer. And
Chris, I was actually commenting about it yesterday about the old barn on Blanchard, about how you needed like an on ramp and an exit ramp and maybe some street lights to find the corners in that rink. It was so big. Q Center, no tiny floor either, but Shamrocks have always been a transition team as well and high powered offense. Can we expect more of the same from the green and white?
Yeah, I think so. Some of those transition guys, we've had some turnover in that area, but the guys that we brought in and who are, developing in the system play that brand. And, our firepower will definitely be up front. I don't know if we'll match Langley, at least on paper, but we got some guys who can play both ways too. Jesse King's one of the very best, as everyone knows, at cutting off transition and getting back and playing on D's, just as comfortable there as he is up leading the offense. And that kind of permeates when you got a leader like that in your group. That kind of sets a tone for the rest of it. And obviously our coaches recognize that and try to build that into the scheme a little bit. So like everybody's saying, young, hungry, fast-paced, up-tempo, lots of scoring, clean, good lacrosse. That's what it's all about.
And Tawani, let's end it off with you on this note. And Nanaimo, they're known as a blue-collar town and hard hats and all the rest of it there. And I think that, a team always wants to kind of embody what the city is about. And the timberman, the lumberjack, you think of all that sort of stuff, and that's what the fans want to come and see.
Absolutely. Success is defined by doing the little things exceptionally well. And I think that's really what we're focusing on, every single week, every single shift, every single game. And it's music to my ears to hear everybody wants to play fast paced and get that ball up the floor, because that's lacrosse. Lacrosse is the fastest game on 2 feet. And so I can't wait for the season to start and get going, and for all the people in all the communities and all the cities to get out and support WLA lacrosse. I just cannot wait.
Few more minutes here with these guys, and just so everybody knows, we're going to try and do this once a month. I think next up, maybe we go captains or something like that, but expect one of these Facebook Lives each and every month here on the WLA Facebook page. Pat, the schedule, I'm looking at the schedule here a little bit as I kind of plugged in all my games in my calendar here, and I think I worked it out. I'm doing 42 of the 45 games on the mainland, which I could not be more excited about. But I'm so used to going Coquitlam on Saturday night, and I'll still be doing that a little bit, but a couple of new nights in the schedule there. I think a Tuesday and maybe a couple of Wednesdays in there as well. And maybe this gives an opportunity for a few more fans to get out and experience Abnac lacrosse.
Yeah, and I think it's good for the players too to have the odd Saturday off. There's something just from experience playing there for 12 or 13 years, that there's something good about that, where you're going to be Saturday night. But in the summer times, like if you're playing 12 years or 13 years in a row and you don't get a Saturday off the whole summer, it's sort of, you miss out on stuff. So it's nice to be able to know that you're going to have this Saturday off, and guys can sort of plan stuff around that. So I think it's good for the guys as much as it is for the fans too.
And Roddy, kind of same thing in Langley. I think mostly Wednesday night games, but a couple of Saturdays sprinkled in there as well. A little variety in Langley.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Wednesday night's been our home city night, but it'd be different nights, different opportunities to show your stuff. So excited about it. Excited to get back to the Langley Arena.
Yeah,
WLC.
LEC, no doubt about it. I can't wait to get back up in the booth there as well. You got to go, Pat?
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Okay, enjoy your practice. Best of luck this weekend, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Travis, Swamptown, we're looking at what, Tuesdays and Fridays for Laker lacrosse?
Yeah, listening to Pat say that, music to my ears.
Well, you experienced it, I experienced it. We know, right? It's Saturday, every Saturday. That gets a little tiresome after a while.
Yeah, I know. You miss a lot of family barbecues and events. I think it's good for the league to maybe look at some other non-weekend options at times, or different scheduling ideas, or be creative, right? It's a new player, it's a new game, it's kind of a new start for everyone. So there's only opportunity out there right now, and I think it'd be foolish not to take advantage of this opportunity we're presented with. All the young players, fast game, a lot of new interest. So I'm excited for that kind of thing, and these new things, new ideas, not doing the same old. So
on the flip side of that, though, Gillespie, things are working pretty well in Victoria as far as fan support and fan base goes. So I don't know if you want to mess with the good thing here, Chris. Friday nights is the place to be, Q Center and Shamrock Lacrosse. You don't want to stray too far away from that.
Yeah, it used to be Wednesdays and Fridays, right? It was Fridays while school was still in, and then when school got out, they switched to Wednesday nights, and then we changed it to all Fridays. And to try and be a good league partner, we added Sunday afternoons as well, to give the schedulers a little bit of an option.
And that's for the sake, or the ability to do the double dip on the island for mainland teams, right?
Either way,
Saturday night or
Friday,
whatever.
Saturday, Sunday. And even if it's not a double dip, like, if we give them an early start, like 5 o'clock on Sundays, which we're doing, teams can still get that 9 o'clock ferry out of Swartz Bay and get home at a half decent hours. So that's a big consideration. And the Sundays, the first couple of years, we took a little bit of a hit on, but they seem to be kind of taking hold. This year we have 7 Fridays and the 2 Sundays. So we'll see how that goes. But we got a bit of a tradition to uphold with Friday nights. I think people would have a hard time if we ever move too far away from that.
I know I would. Sato, Cam Neely Arena, Sunday night. So I don't know if there's many things I enjoy much more than heading out to the Ridge on a Sunday, early start out there usually. You got some Tuesday games mixed in as well, and you guys have found a nice balance doing that.
Yeah, it's been great. I echo the same as the rest of the guys. Just playing in the WLA for a long time. Those Saturdays, playing in Burnaby for a couple of years. The Friday night sometimes isn't so bad because you still have part of your weekend, but the Saturday night you spend most of Friday preparing for your weekend. Friday, Saturday day, and then your weekend shot a lot of times. So I think it's a move in the right direction, like the rest of the guys said. Just kind of moving with times and players and what players need. Especially nowadays with, most of the guys are coming back from school or a different league and playing all year long. It's, they need a little bit of time here and there. And I think, I don't think Friday or Sunday are that bad. The guys still get a couple of days in there where they can do something with their families or do something with their girlfriends or whatever it is that they need to do, and then get set to play on a Sunday night. And, I think you can probably agree with me. We have a pretty good following out Maple Ridge, that good minor system. And we have a young crowd, and the Tuesday night works when school's out, just like they were saying with the island with their changing of their schedule. yeah, I think all these new ideas and people being open to them finally, like it's been a long time, people battling and trying to get things done. We got to give credit to that group that's made these decisions, and Paul for pushing them. I think, it's just great to move on and move forward and try some new things and see how it works. It's needed.
Yeah, I think like this year more than any other, I think we're seeing some real synergy with the board working with each other, the league, everybody's kind of getting along here, even with the East, which we've never really seen, the two leagues kind of working together and trying to move in the right direction together. Tawani, I don't want to leave you out here. Predominantly, I mean, Frank Crane, one of my favorite places to watch a game, beautiful sightlines and great arena there in Nanaimo. Predominantly weekend stuff there, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the team in?
It is, and it will be, but looking forward to it. I mean, get ready for the drums. They're coming. The community's coming out. There's a lot of talk. We got 50 elders coming out from Stenamo. We got elders coming out from Manus and other places as well. So it's going to be a place to be on the weekend, that's for sure. So when you come over for the experiences, play some great lacrosse and play for the Creator.
I tell you what, to this day, the 2018 President's Cup there in Nanaimo, I don't know if I've ever been in another atmosphere like I was that day for that final game. Just spectacular stuff. And by the way, for fans that may not know, WLA TV is back and bigger than ever. You can check out all the games. Go to WLAlacrosse.com, click on the WLA TV tab. I believe there's a few different package options there as well, single games, packages available to you. But I think the most important thing here, guys, is that every single game is going to be streamed and fans across the continent are going to be able to watch our product. And I think that's super important, and not to kind of kick dirt on anybody here, but I know the MSL had a bit of a faux pas tonight. They were supposed to kick off their season. The game didn't get streamed. Not something you have to worry about here in the WLA as we look forward to another season of being able to watch every single WLA game. How important is this for our league, Chris?
It's absolutely, it's critical. Absolutely critical to have that exposure and to make the product available, on a broad basis where it's not just limited to some kind of local restrictions. We have players on our team from other parts of BC and from Alberta and Ontario and even New York State. So, families in these places love to tune in, and friends and families love to tune in and see the players playing, and it just makes the game much more accessible to all. I had one player tonight actually tell me that his grandmother was a season ticket holder for the Shamrocks for many years. She recently had to go into a home, so on Friday night she'll be tuning in live on Check, and from that point forward, for the Friday night games and some of our away games, they'll be setting her up on the internet with the webcast. So it just makes it more accessible, gives us a bigger reach, and gives the players and the game the extra exposure, which is a fantastic thing.
And I think production value will be enhanced a little bit as we move into 2022 as well. Guys, I don't want to keep it too much longer here, and I know Pat and Rory have had to drop off to get to practice. I know, Chris, you got a practice going on as well. And I don't even know if you guys are going to know this sort of stuff, but maybe I'll just ask you this. Roddy, we'll start with you, and I'll just ask the same question to everybody. Is there one night or an event or a theme that players or fans, young kids can come and look forward to, whether it's minor night or Seat for Soldiers or whatever the case is? Is there one night for your organization that Tessa Beauchamp, I think, probably comes to mind for you, Roddy, when you think about a special night for the Thunder?
Yeah, that would be the one that stands out. Now, I haven't sat down with Robin that on our special nights and that, but we always plan something, and that's a good one. We give away jerseys and whatnot, and obviously it's for cancer research and that. So yeah, it's pretty powerful. So yeah, we're definitely going to do something, and yeah, I'm excited about this year. It's going to be a fantastic season.
Chris, how about you?
Yeah, we got a couple that come to mind. On Father's Day, Sunday, June 19th, we have a doubleheader happening at the Q Center here. The Langley Junior Thunder will be playing the Victoria Junior Shamrocks at 1 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, the Senior A Shamrocks will be taking on the Senior A Thunder, and in between we're throwing a beer garden and burgers and things for it's a Father's Day celebration. Bring dad out and let him have a Sunday of lacrosse at the Q Center with the Junior A's and the Senior A's, and then on
Mom's allowed to come too, right? But
yeah,
it is
mom can
like
come
that.
and everybody's welcome, but it'll be our day to celebrate the dads out there for sure, and the grandfathers, etc. And then we have our alumni night on Sunday, June 10th, and that's always a real special one. Is scholarship awards are handed out, and we have at least one scholarship winner here on a screen. And Mackie, she's been a recipient on alumni night before, and it's a great opportunity to see lacrosse kind of giving back to the up and coming, future players of the game, both male and female, box and field, and it's a great celebration for all. And we'll be doing other theme nights as well, but those are two that spring to mind right now.
Awesome. I'm going to give Travis and Sato a little more time to prepare, just in case your wheels are spinning right now. Tawani, you mentioned the drums will be banging. What else can fans expect when they walk into Frank Grant Arena?
Yeah, well, Indigenous Day is June 21st, and there's a lot of activities around Indigenous Day itself. So look for some things for us around that week. There's always lots of activities happening around that. So just bringing awareness about Indigenous peoples, I think, is always important, but also about all of us together. And that's really what we're about, and so it's all cultures, all people. So look forward to that. And you might see Bitterly Divine sometime throughout the year. So stay tuned for that. It's a pretty cool Squamish rock band that will be performing outside of the arena. So I'm not sure which game that is, but keep your ears peeled for that. And last thing I just want to say for Mackie, hey, when it comes to youth, when it comes to live stream, any ideas that our youth have, we're open to those. We should be taking direction from our young people in terms of how we can get the game to them and be accessible to them as much as we can.
Love it. Love it. Travis, what are you saying? What are we seeing at the Swamp? I know they got the 50. I'm always in on the 50-50 on Friday night in Burnaby. What else can we expect?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have much knowledge on the game day activities and stuff. I've been too focused on the on floor.
Okay, I didn't want to put you on the spot, but that's fair enough. That's Kevy's kind of deal, so I don't want to hold that against you. Sato, what about you? I know they always have what is it out there? The Caribbean Fest or something that they always seem to kind of coincide with a Burrard's game on a weekend.
Yeah, that one doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't mind the food and the music. It's pretty good. But we have seriously our minor night on their first home game. Really big, as it said earlier, they're big, huge supporters of us, our minor association, and that's just a fun day for the kids. Barbecue, dunk tanks for coaches, all kinds of different fun activities for these kids, and they're on the floor, like we were when we were kids, in between periods and shooting the ball around and all kinds of good activity like that. There's another big component to every night we play for a cause. We have the puzzle pieces on our jersey for autism awareness, and it's near and dear to all of our hearts. So that's another thing for every night in our arena and other arenas for people to kind of take hold of and notice, is that autism awareness crest that we wear on our jersey.
Easiest place to win a Frisbee toss as well there can be there. You can always lean right over the glass and almost drop it out center sometimes. If you get
it's the fantastic lighting also. Jake, I think helps.
No ceilings, no. Hey guys, for Rory and Pat, we thank them for stopping on. For Chris Welsh, Rod Jensen, Travis Gillespie, Rob Williams, Tawani Joseph, thanks for spending an hour here with us just ahead of the upcoming WLA season. I can't wait to get it started. And Mackie for organizing all this and putting it together, lining everybody up. Thank you to you as well. And hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Don't forget, season opener, May 27th, Check TV, Bellies, Shamrocks, and the rest of the games on WLA TV, WLAcrosse.com, with most likely yours truly. Or Dan Marshall, Teddy Jenner will be there as well. Guys, thanks a lot. We'll see you around the rink soon, I'm sure.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jake.
Fellas.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later. Thanks, Mac.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys so much for joining.
That was fun.
Awesome.
All right. See you, Seto.
See ya.